Nope, nope, don't want to do that yet.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you for joining us. We're doing our virtual kickoff for the 2022 Cradle Libby popcorn sale. We're very excited. We've got some big announcements that we can't wait to tell you about. First of all, introductions. Just want to, my name is Beverly Banks. I am the council popcorn chair, and soon you'll be hearing from Ryan Martin, who is our council representative, and we've got a couple other special guests that will be speaking today. But basically, we're just, if you don't know anything about popcorn, we're going to tell you why we believe in it, why we think it's such a great fundraiser. We want to make sure you have all our contact information, know that we are always here to help you and make your sale a success and give you some tips and tricks and all kinds of good things. We're going to go through the dates of the sale and when your orders need to be in by and picked up by, and again, some new information in that department we can't wait to tell you. And just overall plan for success and different ways that we have found success. Might not all work for you, but be open to changing it up for 2022, because it's, you know, a little bit of everything this year, and we're happy about that. Again, my name is Beverly Banks. I am the council popcorn journal. You're going to hear from Danielle McCullough from PAC 284 today. She's got a bunch of information to share. Ryan Martin, again, is our popcorn staff advisor. He is the fundraising specialist for Service Area 2 and a brand new popcorn kernel to one Miles Martin. Denzel is our Service Area 1 fundraising specialist, and David Broadhead is Service Area 2. Lance is our Director of Field Operations, and if you don't know what service area you are in, I believe Ryan is going to take over and tell you how to find that out.
Really testing my abilities here. Okay, so let me share my screen. So, you know, just as we do more of these meetings, we on the professional staff and council district volunteers take this for granted, but not everyone knows, you know, district and sometimes not even what unit you're in. So I can't necessarily help you with what unit you're in tonight, but I can help you with that at a later point. But to find out what district you're in, because that's going to dictate, you know, who your, you know, contact person is for your individual popcorn district, but also your fundraising specialist. So to find out who your volunteer is or who your contact for popcorn specifically is this list right here. So if you're not sure what district, you can always contact me or Bev, or just send an email to the popcorn email. We'll help you out. Just so you know kind of what district you are in. There's a little districts tab here on our website. And then you can, you know, look at our little map here. If you want to find your little town, or you can click on individual district pages, and then it says, you know, serving scouts of, you know, such and such area. So I just want to make sure everyone kind of knew where to find that, where to go for help, and who you can contact for support. So with that, Bev, I will get back to our presentation.
That was pretty. I like things that are color coded. So again, our contact information, I will tell you any questions you have, just go to colbsa.org/popcorn and you will find just about everything you need. If it's a specific question, you can email popcorn@colbsa.org, or myself or Ryan or your district chair.
Yep. And I think the one thing I omitted to put on here is the COL popcorn Facebook page. So that's a COL. I think COL BSA popcorn, right? Or COL.
Yeah,
popcorn.
yeah.
COL
as soon as
popcorn.
you type in COL BSA popcorn in Facebook, it comes up. So
Yep.
yeah,
Okay.
You can find it. And yeah, check out the Facebook groups and the Trails End websites and all that good stuff. Is this mine? I thought
Yep.
this was
Yep. You do it so much better than I do.
Right. You made it sound like I had very little to do. So why popcorn? It teaches the kids so much as far as earning their way, money management, setting goals, achieving goals, rejection when, the people outside of Lowe's say, no, I don't need popcorn, or I don't have any cash. We have an answer for that one too. My son has been trying to run his own business since his early days of popcorn sales. So entrepreneur is definitely on that list, and just learning how to deal with people, like I said, rejection and earning your way through everything. They have to speak to strangers. They have to do math. I became a merit badge counselor for salesmanship and for the entrepreneur, just because of my experience with popcorn, and it has helped my kids get lots of cool stuff off of Amazon, mostly camping items, and do a lot for their units so that they can go on really cool trips and do a lot of fun stuff.
All right. So one thing we want to encourage you to do throughout this, if you don't already have the Trails End app downloaded on your phone, you can do so right as we're going through tonight. You just simply go to your app store and you select the Trails End app. It's a free app. You just download it to your phone. You select your unit, and you can even have your unit colonel invite your scout, so you can download the app and then send your unit colonel email, say, hey, can you please send us an invitation so we can link to your unit. But if you have any trouble with that, feel free to reach out to anyone. Okay, so we're gonna talk to Bev again. She's gonna share with us from her experience for oh gosh, I'll let you tell how many years of popcorn experience, but what she would recommend as maybe if you're a first-time colonel or you're coming back for another round of it this year, kind of what you should be thinking about, what you should be planning. So Bev?
Yes, so popcorn colonel, I believe my son was probably 8 when we started. When I started as colonel, they were phasing out the old colonel, and they were like, "Yeah, you should do it. You did really well last year in sales." And now he's 16. So it's been a solid 8 years of colonelling for me, and I really do enjoy it. My day job is in sales anyway, so I do get a kick out of commission-based industries. One of the things that we started doing was the Kickoff. My predecessor had already made our pack a 10,000 K unit, so I was shocked when all the popcorn was delivered to my house in mid-August, and I was like, wait, this thing doesn't start until September. It starts in August. So I went on Amazon, got an inflatable movie screen, invited the entire pack over to our house. We showed a movie, and I handed out what we called family packs. So it was a couple items of each flavor, and we just handed them to everybody and said, go put them in your wagon and drag them around the neighborhood. We're out of Montgomeryville, so it is development next to development next to development. So it makes it real easy for wagon dragging. We also are like the retail capital of the region. So there were plenty of stores to stand in front of. Liquor stores do really well, by the way. So we did a lot of that. We did the mystery shoppers. So I strategically planted a bunch of gift cards at houses for friends. And when the kids, once they found that out, they wouldn't stop until they found one. So that was really successful for us. Again, with the popcorn showing up in August, we had a lot of barbecues. So that was the days of the form. So we were running around getting form orders. It's even easier now with the app. You just walk up to them and show them the app and say, here, scan this QR code and place an order for popcorn. So really, really love everything that Trails End has done with the app and the online direct, which I believe we'll go into a little more detail later on. But now that my youngest has crossed over into the troop, his sale, he and I sit down one day and click a couple buttons and send emails and text messages to all his past customers. And he sold, I think, $2,000 worth of popcorn last year without even trying. So I'm a tried and true believer in the popcorn sale and Trails End. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Bev. All right, Danielle, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and let us know what you would recommend as a kernel.
So hi, everybody. I am the Colonel at PAC 284, and we merged with PAC 19. Both of our PACs together, usually in this area, about 100 scouts, not so much recently with the pandemic and everything. So we put our resources together. That also meant for Popcorn as well. If anybody else is in that kind of situation, I do have access to both accounts, but in order to set up storefronts and be sure that all the scouts would be able to see the storefronts and I wasn't putting it in two apps, we advised them all to just come in under 284. My one scout that set a goal for himself and sold all online, met his goal. He actually was originally in PAC 19. He was like, I don't want to move over and I'm just doing online sales. So we're like, okay, sure. You could just stay there. That was fine. I was like, but if you want to do any storefronts, let me know because you're going to have to go over to 284. So but that worked out really well. We just kind of have everything in one for now until, we see if we're going to separate the packs again in the future. But for our kickoff last year, we were at a playground. So getting the kids to focus on anything I was saying was not very good. So I did really focus on the parents. I made sure that I brought a packet for each one in so that they could, get some information. I kept the packet very clean, very easy to read, very bullet pointed, this is why we're selling. These are some sales tips. This is what a storefront is. This is what WAGON is. And this is what online is. I set our goal at 10,000. We did surpass that. We did 13 and 9,500 of that was storefronts. So we've always been pretty big sellers at the storefront. And I think that's probably the best effort that most kids can do. If you're spending, 2 hours at a shift and you do $300 to $400, that's great because they could spend all day on the phone or out in the neighborhood and maybe not pulling quite as much. So I think storefronts are a great idea, but I don't think you should focus on any one of these 3 points. I think you should blend it, let them make their choices. And the app makes it very easy to do that. So take the time to watch the dashboard information. Go ahead and go on Facebook and join not only the Cradle of Liberty BSA popcorn community, which is great. That's where all of us can join up and we can share information with each other. But the Trails and Popcorn community and the Trails and Scout parents, people are putting excellent information, documentation, things up there. You're going to get more information there. Just remember that if you're asking questions that are very specific, though, to like our district or anything like that, they're not gonna be able to provide, always those answers. So just remember what platform you're on and what kind of question you're asking. Ryan might be your better choice if it's something very specific for us. But yeah, definitely educate yourself to be comfortable with the app. And this way you can make the parents comfortable with the app. Remember, they're the ones that are going to decide if they're signing up for any of this stuff, how much help, this is going to be for the whole group. So definitely get in front of those parents, sell them on selling popcorn, and then the scouts will do it too. So I hope everybody has a great kickoff coming up, and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Yep. And like I said, both these fine ladies will be available at the end during our question and answer session. So I'm sure they'll give you much more important information and kind of give you the tips that like the little tip that Bev threw in there. I heard it. Just adjacent. Don't be right in front of the state store. Just pick this, the store right next to it. All right. Thank you. All right, so we're going to get back to our presentation here. So thank you to our 2 presenters, which we'll probably hear from during the question and answer session and as we go along here. So the one thing that Danielle really mentioned on is, if I can paraphrase you, the Unileader portal and the app are your friends. That they can make it a lot easier for you to manage. Gone are the days, if you've been doing popcorn for a while, gone are the days where you're putting together some crazy spreadsheet or you're the new kernel trying to decipher hieroglyphics from the previous kernel's spreadsheet that make perfect sense to them. And where do I start? So both the systems are really user friendly. There's been a number of years, a number of tests years that have gone into this. So it's really outstanding technology, and you couldn't really ask for anything better. You can now manage your entire sale from your phone. So that's an added bonus. So as you're getting, you may be at a storefront table, and you have another parent, another storefront table, and they're saying, okay, well, I got the little issue here, and you can look at your app like, okay, well, you got to make sure you assign that storefront to that scout. Maybe that was just something that was missed. Maybe they never claimed that storefront, or another scout did it. So really easy to use, and luckily now you can do all your unit leader issues and items from the website on your phone, and you can also use the app as a parent or a scout. Having families on the app will make it a lot easier for you to track everything. So if every sale is done through the app, whether it's a wagon sale, whether it's an online direct sale, or whether it's a show and sell sale, as long as everything's going through the app, even if it's a cash sale, you can always reconcile product and also revenue from the sale right in live time. And if you're using primarily credit cards, you don't have to worry about writing a check or anything. And a number of our units for the last couple of years, especially the pandemic year, 2020, whereas just about all online, was we actually had to write a couple checks to units because they over earn their commission. So if you do all online direct and all credit, you'll get your side of the commission for each transaction. And then if you go over that threshold, you actually pay your full bill of the council. At the end, the council may have to write you a check for that overage at the end. So it really couldn't be easier for that piece, and just less stress and easier management for you. So here's just a couple of screenshots of how it looks on your phone. Like Bev mentioned, I am a colonel myself, and also I have the app for my son, so it's really easy to toggle between the two and manage everything. Again, to download the app, go to your app store, or you can just text app to 62771. What you need to register is your council, your district, and your unit. So if you have an account from last year, use that same account. You can do the forgot password or anything if you need it. And then multiple kids, which Danielle knows this feature well. She actually spoke on our last training. It allows you to toggle between the kids. And once you download the app, there's a training section, which you can go to videos for every little thing you can think of, or simply ask the question to one of our volunteers or one of our fundraising specialists. Credit cards. So again, if you've been around for a while, there were days where the top units were the only ones taking credit cards or having the square readers. Now with the app, Trails End covers all credit card processing fees. So you can buy a Square reader. From what I understand, if you download or you register an account with Square, which I'm going to do myself, the first time they'll send you at least one free Square reader. And I know off of Amazon you can get them pretty cheaply. So you just want to make sure it's the compatible one with your phone. But even if you don't have a Square reader, you can enter all the information right there, or you can even plug in the order and then have the bring up the QR code. The customer can scan it, or you can put in their mobile number and send it to them, and they complete the transaction that way. So it's really could not be easier. The only thing I don't know, I don't think it takes cryptocurrency. So you might lose some potential crypto sales. I don't know if those folks have too much crypto funds left anyways at this point. So the ways you can sell through the app is anyway. And honestly, any transaction, any sale you're making, I would highly recommend you do it all through the app, because it makes your life, especially as a unit leader, a lot easier to rectify everything, to make sure your product all lines up, and you don't have okay, well, we have these sales, but the product wasn't checked out. You can check out product. When someone brings back any unsold product from the show and sell, you can log that in through the app. It's really couldn't be easier. Faster, easier. Every year it gets easier. This year, I think this is the best it's ever been this year. Again, not vastly different from last year, just little things that just make it a lot easier to navigate. And the one thing to make a special note, if you get nothing else out of this training tonight, download the app, use the app for everything. And also, if someone says, oh, I don't want popcorn, or I don't want to spend that $15 on that caramel corn, the American Hero donations are a great way. You can do a donation for as little as $1. And we really encourage you to do all donations through the app, because that way your scouts get credit towards their prize level. You get the same commission on $1 sold of popcorn or $1 sold of the American Hero donations. And especially for online direct, if customers, and I've gotten this response from a couple friends that that $70 is a little too high. Well, if they're out of time, I said, well, consider making a donation. I did that with Miles's great grandmother this morning. So that would be my recommendation. If you can go see them sometime soon, just do a take order, and you can get to the product to them later, and then you can make the payment now and get it to them later. There's also a recruit a scout feature, which is really easy. That connects with Be a Scout. So if you're out there doing show and sells or door-to-door wagon sales, and they say, okay, well, I want to get my child involved in Cub Scouts or Scouts, you put in their information, and then you hit submit, and that will generate Be a Scout lead for that unit or that professional to follow up with as well. More rewards. So if you do app credit card sales, you get additional prize points, or you accumulate prize points faster. You don't have to handle cash. You can accept cash. That's also something you can do. But I think most people are going to say, oh, well, I don't have any cash on me. You can easily eliminate that, that quick reaction they have for, maybe just wanting to walk by and not be bothered. And if that scout says, oh, well, we can accept credit cards, that'll probably stop another segment of the folks that would just, otherwise walk away. Again, download and register the app. All right, so ways to sell. And I'll breeze through this because Bev and Danielle did a great job highlighting a number of these. So online direct, if you don't really want to worry about handling a lot of product or drive out to pick up an order, I can understand that. And I can understand why, especially units for the first time doing the popcorn, may be a little skittish about taking physical product. That's fine. There's no reason why any unit shouldn't at least encourage scouts that need a little bit extra, or the unit overall shouldn't do online direct. It could not be easier. We'll do a little demonstration at the end, just how easy it is. My son Miles, I'll show you a little bit later, with I think about 30 minutes of work and going through sending some personal little text on top of the auto share. That little kindergartner sold over $500 in online direct in less than a week. So that means he's raised $190 for his Cub Scout program, and I don't know what other fundraiser our units are doing out there that can beat that. So just folks who tell you that popcorn can't work, well, have they actually tried it? Have they tried it recently? Wagon sales. I know in our council, and Danielle mentioned, most of our top units predominantly do show and sells. Wagon sales, I think, are a lost art. We bought a little red wagon for a couple of years ago for the kids to drag into the pool and back. And Miles and I are going to load that up with some popcorn. We're going to do a different neighborhood, a couple hours before every Eagles game this Sunday. These Sundays coming up in football season, that's what we're going to do. Wagon sales with product or take order. There's two different options there. I would recommend, the door-to-door with the product. And then you can always, if you don't have that special item they want, or they want to make a donation, you can do a take order or simultaneously. You don't have to kind of log in and out. It's all simultaneous. Storefront sales as well. So you can earn more points like we talked about. Average customers spend more online. Go figure. I think we're all victims of that. So average order is over $65 this year. The shipping costs and inflation, all that good stuff, we're all living with it, in our daily lives. The free shipping amount is $70. But like I said, if folks, you're selling to say, oh, well, I love to support so-and-so, but I can't quite spend $70. Well, you let them know American Hero donations, and then there's no shipping for a donation. It's just whatever amount that they choose. And the nice thing about online direct, and if you haven't experienced online direct, let me let you in on a little secret. The customer place the order, you do it for them, and then it ships from Trail's End to them, and you have to handle no product. That is when they started this, because they had to during the pandemic. This is, I think, the greatest thing in unit fundraising that's come out the last 2 years. So I would really highly recommend, if nothing else, to really take advantage of this. And it's available year round. All the things we talked about before, generate a QR code, and it's very nice. It has like it track your sales, and my son, when he got over $500, it then ticked up to like, okay, this is how many points you need to get to the next prize level. So how it works is there a virtual store where the kid can record the sale and then send the customer the bill or the receipt. So it's really easy and ships right to the customer. You don't have to touch a thing other than your phone. The wagon sale, so sell door to door. You can visit, the neighbor, all your neighbors. You can give them a dirty look if they just slam the door in your face. And next time they ask you to borrow the lawnmower, you can say, well, maybe buy some popcorn. But you can, certainly make sure if they say, okay, well, I like the butter, but you're fresh out of butter, we'll just, complete the sale, mark it undelivered, and then you can bring it back later. And the nice thing with the app is it's all in there. You don't have to like decipher someone's handwriting, especially if you're not the one making the sale. You can say, okay, this goes this, zone so-and-so, and you can send emails out, say, hey, you have these orders, you got to deliver it to these customers, and you can see it. You don't have to worry about people's handwriting. Ask parents to sell at work. I certainly have. All my colleagues on the call can attest to that. So don't worry about it. There's folks that I wasn't quite sure if they would buy from Miles or not, and some have been very generous. I even asked my CEO, and he said he'll make an order. He hasn't ordered yet, but I'll make sure he does it. Nice thing this year, and we'll go over this in a minute. I'll share the list of what the storefronts, but this year Trails End has reserved, I believe we're at up to 8,900 hours of storefronts across our council that you don't have to go out and book. You just have to go into the app and reserve and claim. We'll talk a little bit more about that list and what's available and all that, but this is going to be very, very simple, very easy, and starting on Monday, and it'll increase from there. The units that sold 5,000 or more last year will get to claim up to 5 shifts, and shifts are between 4 and 6 hours depending on the location and their store hours. And then the next day, units that sold over 5,000 will get select another 5 units. Then all units registered in the popcorn system will get claimed, I believe it's 2 sites. The next day is 4, and then the last day, and that's all within your district. And then on that Friday, I believe it opens up. You can select any number of shifts at any location that's reserved through Trails End in the system. The only thing we would ask is don't reserve sites you don't believe you can staff or sell, because the last thing we want to do is have these storefronts reserved and have no one use them to sell. So that's the only thing we would ask. So if you have any questions or specific stores that you want to know about, you can certainly reach out to your fundraising specialist or email that popcorn email. But that will again start on Monday. This is to supplement whatever storefronts you have reserved. And if there's a case where, okay, well, I'm not quite sure if this Lowe's is on that list or not, you can reach out to your fundraising specialist. If it is, we can have it removed from that list. This is meant to help supplement, not take from your hard work and then give to someone else. So just make sure you're reaching out to your fundraising specialist. If you have any questions, your fundraising specialist will be reaching out to you just if they think you probably may have reserved the site. So just open communication is really key. And there's nothing that can't be corrected. So don't worry too much about it. And then the storefront scheduling is really easy. I'll just go right back. So storefront management is the where you want to go in the leader system to put it in your own sites. Storefront reservations where you're going to be going to claim sites from Trails End. I just want to make sure I pointed that out. Yeah, Trails End has downloaded a lot of different storefronts. So in the past, leaders who have used the app and storefront management system, it's just essentially this reservation is just you as a unit claiming shifts instead of you assigning the shifts and the scouts claiming them. So it's just another level increase there. The rewards start at 500 points. And like I said, in 1 week, less than 1 week, Miles has already surpassed that 500 points mark. So it is doable. I would say that, and you get to raise more with less effort, which is a great thing. We want everyone to focus on the program, and that's the nice thing about popcorn is month and a half of, going at it pretty hard, depending on what your goal is. And then, you're done for the year and you get to, enjoy the program. We had one pack last year. One of our last trains you can watch, Pack 231 in Royersford, they went from 20 scouts to over 45 scouts. And the only thing they said they did differently was they sold more popcorn, they did more storefronts. So this can be a recruitment tool for you as well, packs or troops. Some key dates, these are all on the popcorn page for the council. We have tonight, first order deadline. Sorry, everyone's face is in the way, is next Thursday, July 21st. So the one thing I do want to point out, there's multiple entry points. So if you are rearing to go and your unit's going to be ready to go to start selling a lot of product starting in August, we're ready for you. So by next Thursday, you can place that order and you'll have product by August 13th. If your unit that sold over 10,000 last year, we will be contacting you to arrange a home delivery. And then the second order deadline, so another point of entry. So you can be doing online direct the whole time, but maybe holding off till that, that second order to do show and sell product. That's completely up to you. The one thing I do want to point out is with our delivery partner, we did say that any home deliveries would be scheduled through the first order. So if you're a unit that qualifies as home delivery and you want that first order delivered, it's going to have to apply that first order, not the second order. So I just want to point that out, because they are providing us a great service for not the price that it actually costs. So I appreciate everyone's cooperation there. So if you place an order with a second order, whether it's your first order or in fact your second order, that deadline is August 26th. You'll have products to start selling September 10th or additional product. We will, based on demand, we're prepared to place an additional show and sell order if needed. That would be due September 28th. And then in between that and when we have to actually submit the order to Trails End is we're going to have a popcorn amnesty day. So this will allow units maybe to start the program for the first time, to come pick up some product from units that maybe, they're not selling whatever item in their area for whatever reason. You can exchange product with units. You can return up to 10% of your order at this point, or you can return a portion of your order. At this point, again, no chocolate products can be returned. Full case is sealed only, just because we have to try and attempt to sell any unsold product to other councils, and we can't do that if the case is open. So just note there. So again, you can return up to 10% of your final order. So whatever your final order is after all your orders have been added together, you can return up to 10% of that. Again, this year we will do a bonus 2% commission for units that do not return any product but place an order. So you can really start to up your commission really quickly, as you go along here. If we do place that additional order, that will be picked up on October 15th. We will do some sort of sales blitz weekend, some incentives, for scouts and for units during that time frame. So more to come there, but just to make sure you have a lot of show and sells scheduled for that weekend in particular. Unit take order deadline and your final opportunity to return, again, up to 10% of your order, and it's a complete 10% of your order. You can't do 10% of your order to date at October 1st and then do another 10%. It's 10% of your total order. So if you returned 5% of your total order at amnesty day, and you can return up to another 5% at your at the rebalance day or take order deadline. Okay. Sorry. Take order pickup. And now my screen's showing off there, but I know you can all see that date, so you can let me know this. And then payment deadline. So again, all these dates are on the colbsa.org/popcorn. Okay, so price points. So I'm glad I'm on the other side of the screen and not sitting in front of everybody. So one thing to note, and just to demystify, if you're not aware of how we determine with Trails End's help what the price point is going to be, is one thing we've always advertised for the last, since I've been involved 10 plus years, is 70% of all the proceeds from each item sold goes back to scouting. And in order to achieve that, because that's printed on every product item, is the prices have to keep up with inflation, shipping fees, all that. But one thing I do want everyone to realize, even if okay, well, I don't think we can sell $15 items. Classic caramel corn is normally our most returned item. And also the American Hero donations, you can start selling those for as little as $1. So you do have a product to sell at every price point, whether it's $1, whatever other crazy amount someone might want to buy popcorn for. So classic caramel is at $15. Popping corn is $17. Unbelievable butter, white cheddar, kettle corn, and salted caramel all at $25. And chocolate pretzels at $30. And the sweet and savory collection is $42 up from $40, and that includes white cheddar and kettle. These are just the pictures of the product. Again, the American Hero donations can be increments of $1, or you can sell them at different donation levels, $30, $50 increments as well. There's additional products online. So they're seasonal, but there's also different bundles, different packages, and everything like that. Trails and webinars. So you can go in a little bit more detail and get even more knowledge. I attended one and I think it was very helpful. So you can, they have different audiences. They have a new kernel, a returning kernel. So really great opportunities to get even more prepared for success. These are just the website there. So again, the link to this website is on our colbsa.org/popcorn. How to fund your entire year in under 8 hours. So this is something that Trails have put out for a number of years. So just like we said before, download the app. You do the online direct with auto share for the top seller. Again, I would recommend everyone do the top seller. And what that will allow you to do is you access your contacts. If you've sold before, it will include your past customers. And then you can either what I did and just send it to everybody on my phone, just figure if they don't want it, they'll just delete it. And then, or you can just go through and unselect certain folks that you don't think will be involved. Like I'm pretty sure that whatever my contact for my old utility probably isn't going to buy any popcorn, but hey, you never know. So storefronts, you're going to do 4 storefronts at an average of $125, which that average I think has actually gone up since this was last updated, and then WAGON sales as well. So right there. So one thing, and I don't know if this applies to anyone tonight, maybe it'll apply to some folks that are considering popcorn for the first time, but what if you're the only family, scout, and parent in your unit that wants to sell? Well, then you would be me, my son, Miles. But this is something that we've heard in the past that maybe it just doesn't work for that unit, but we know each unit has families that maybe need a little bit extra, or maybe there's some units just don't do any fundraising like my pack. Well, I don't have whatever, I think it's like $300 some for the dues and whatever the camping opportunities are. I simply don't have that laying around. We could find the cash, but I don't want to break our budget to do it. So that's why Miles and I are doing popcorn. So like we talked about before, we're going to do the online direct. We select the top seller plan with auto share. And then I would highly recommend sending a little personal message to your likely supporters, just because some folks see that auto message and it kind of looks like, am I being asked to contribute to like the Saudi Crown Prince or something like that? So I would just recommend that anyone that you're definitely thinks the likely supporters to do that. And with what that will do is they'll send a couple of reminders over the next couple of months to those folks, because one thing we know in volunteerism is that sometimes you ask people a couple times, not that people are rude or don't want to help. It's just sometimes people are busy. They just need to be reminded a couple of times. That's what we would recommend. The one thing to remember, like taught that, is any any customers from this year that purchase will be part of that top seller plan for next year. So you don't lose that data. You don't lose those customers. They're easily renewable, and you don't have to write it down yourself. It's all done right for you. So this is actually out of date. So Miles has now sold over $515 and has $109 to spend on Cub Scouts already in under a week. It does work, and I can tell you that personally. Show and sells and WAGON sales. So we're going to do one storefront because he's a kindergarten, so I don't want to put him out there too much, and he'll probably get tired and grumpy pretty quick if we go too much longer than that. So we're gonna do a nice little storefront. We're gonna do it for 1 to 2 hours for the duration of the sale. Then Sundays we're gonna do a different neighborhood. We're gonna do our neighborhood and then work our way around to different neighborhoods in the area that we know are, just great, easy, walkable neighborhoods. And then we're gonna do friends and family. I'm gonna, as an assistant soccer coach for his team, I'm gonna, have Miles' sister out there just saying, hey, you want to support my brother. So folks want to support kids and what great activities kids are doing. So don't be afraid to have them ask or to ask on their behalf. And the one thing that I would recommend that I know, especially for the top sellers in our council and nationwide always do, is talk to local businesses. Businesses that are the ones that always sponsor that local run or walk or concert series or whatever that event in your area is. Just business that you think have a lot of employees, just ask them, hey, would you like to purchase some popcorn to support my scout in their program, but also use it as an opportunity to recognize your employees around the holidays. So that would be just an additional kind of, if you really want to shoot for the stars, is to go that route as well. And like Danielle mentioned, is one thing might work better for other people. So to present as whatever your opportunity is, whatever your schedule is as a family, there's a way to sell popcorn pretty easily at that. So again, where you can go for more support. So you can contact Trails End, you can contact any of us, and we can help you as well. And then right before we do questions, I do want to stop my share, and then I'm going to show you just how easy it can be for the app. So I got to share my screen here. Okay, so it's going to take a couple seconds. I apologize. Okay, so it looks like it's working. Okay, so this is the app here. So it's really easy. So you can see how well Miles is doing so far. So he's #1 in his unit because he's the only scout in his unit. #3 in the council and number 16 nationally. So it's built with different ways to kind of motivate the scout and say, okay, well, I want to go for that next level. So you can see, his next reward level is 235 points away. You can track where your scout sales are coming from. You can easily share your link to someone else. You can open the QR code, someone can scan it right from your phone. You can copy it, and that will allow you to send an easy text message. You can text it. You can also do a social link and then send that to anybody. So it's really super easy. You can see your storefront shifts that you've claimed for your scout. You can toggle between online. You go back, you can go to WAGON sales. So you go door to door, you can start this little easy button right here, start sale. Couldn't be easier. And then also storefront sales. So you can, when you can clock in, that way, the Colonel can track, okay, this is how many sales we've made. This is just the inventory live time. So it really could not be easier. So with that, I'm going to stop my share. All right, so let me pause the recording, and then we are going to